Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be lettering a quote for Valentine's Day, and I'm also going to be walking you through the process of how I use watercolors for lettering. The quote I'm going to be lettering today says, "You will forever be my always." Even though Valentine's Day is for your significant other, I also think it is very important that if you do not have a significant other, that you spend time thinking about self-love and reminding yourself how important you are. This quote really resonated with me because I'm the only person that is going to be with myself forever, so I figured I should love myself before anybody else. Without further ado, go ahead and grab some Valentine's Day chocolates, and let's get right into the video. To start off, I always pencil out my quotes or lettering pieces first because I don't quite trust myself to go straight in with the marker. After I have erased all of the pencil marks, I usually go over with a light color in the color that I'm going to be painting. For example, today I used pink, but usually I will go over with a gray or a neutral color so that it doesn't shine through the paint. This lettering base isn't very important, so if it doesn't end up turning out the way you want your lettering to look, it's okay because when you go over with the paint, it'll be more opaque and you won't even see the base color. Now when we go in with the paint, I'm showing you the brush I use. I'm not too sure about brushes, so I just grabbed one that was pretty tiny and had a thin tip so that I could manipulate it like a brush pen. And then I just pick up a nice opaque light pink to go over my base color and make sure that my lettering looks exactly the way I want it to look. I'm using a watercolor pad from my local craft store, and also the paints that I use are just a $5 cheap watercolor paint set from my craft store as well. So I'm not using a bunch of fancy materials. All you need is a brush, some water, some paper, and some paint. The next step is to go in with a darker shade of the color you're painting with, so I chose a darker pink, and I am doing the ombre from darkest at the top to light at the bottom, but you can always reverse it and fade from the light color at the top to darker in the bottom. I'm going about halfway down through my letters with the hot pink, but you can always choose to use more colors, in which you would do darkest at the very top for about a third of the way down, then a middle transition color in the second third of your letters, and then lightest at the bottom. It's really up to you and how advanced you want to go with it. Now that you have both your lighter and darker colors, the next step is to go in with just water and start blending the darker color into the light color. This is probably the hardest step. I still haven't even mastered this, so don't worry if you feel like you aren't quite getting it. I wanted to show you that here my paintbrush dripped some unwanted water on my piece, so I just ripped off a piece of a napkin or a paper towel and just dabbed the water up, and it's like nothing ever happened. To elaborate a little bit more on how I blend the two colors together, first I go in with a drop of water on my brush and just drip it onto the darker color, and then I rinse my brush again, go back in with just water, and start to pull the darker color down into the middle transition area, and then once more I rinse my brush in the water, go back, and start to blend it into the light color. The idea here is to use more water so that you dilute the darker color so that it doesn't overpower the light color sections. There was not really a rule for doing this part, so I just played with it until it was satisfactory to me. Once the paint has dried, I'm going back in with a sparkly dark pink in order to outline and kind of give a drop shadow to this lettering. At first, I was going to use a gel pen that I got from my local craft store, but it wasn't really working, so then I decided to go in with my Jane Davenport Glitzy marker. I really like the effect that drop shadows give on not only bullet journal spreads, but also lettering pieces, so that is why I decided to use a drop shadow. Here you can see just how glittery and sparkly that Jane Davenport marker is. It never fails me to glimmer in the light. Next, I'm going in with my white acrylograph Archer and Olive pen just to clean up some areas that my paint wasn't so fluid or that I messed up on my drop shadow. Now that the actual lettering is done, I'm going in with my Tombow Fudenosuke hardtip brush pen, and I'm lettering out the "you will" and "be my" to fill in the gaps between my quote. I also, unfortunately, ended up drawing the most ugly heart that I have ever drawn in my life. I wasn't quite sure how to fix it, and I started panicking, but I just went in and added some drop shadows in pink to try to fix it. I don't think I quite pulled it off, but no one has to know, right? After that, I just went in with my black normal gel pen and lettered out Happy Valentine's Day in a cursive. To finish up this card, I just cut off the excess at the top so that it would be more of a square, and then that is it. This brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe for more lettering and bullet journal content from me. Also, feel free to drop a comment down below with your favorite Valentine's Day quote or poetry, and also if you have any fun plans for Valentine's Day. I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day, and also something that would really help me out would be if you left in the comments whether or not you might enjoy some more lifestyle content from me. This would include some vlogs, some productive day in the lives with me, some study or productive tips for students, and any other ideas I might have. I'm always trying to get an idea of what kind of content you guys like so that I can make some videos that you guys hopefully enjoy. As always, if you have any tips, recommendations, or requests, feel free to leave them in the comments down below and I will do my best to make some fun videos. Until the next, bye.